The champ is here. That's right, the champ is here. You're looking at the champ.
Hey everybody, this is Sean V. Bradley, CEO of Dealer Synergy.
And Karen Bradley, President of Dealer Synergy.
And I want to just thank everybody that voted, that tuned in, that Facebook tweeted, congratulated me on my huge victory on the Auto Dealer Live debate with Alan Ram. I also want to thank Cribs and Villa for putting on an amazing event, the Thrillerwood Villa. It was huge. It was a huge buzz. And I also want to thank Alan Ram for stepping up and doing the debate. It wasn't easy for him to step into the ring with Sean V. Bradley, but he had the guts to do it. And I also said something in the debate that I respect anybody and appreciate anybody that has the desire to educate our industry, that wants to help sales professionals and dealerships be more, do more, and achieve more. With that being said, that doesn't mean I agree with everything you said. We've heard the phrase before, some people have the right intentions but do the wrong things. I do believe that Alan Ram has the right intentions. He's an integrity-based man. He runs a good business. However, his thought practices, his strategies are antiquated. It ain't the 80s anymore, Alan. It ain't even the 90s anymore. We're in 2014 and beyond. So again, I just want to start by saying that. And also, one other thing I want to just reiterate that I mentioned on the debate is that all the pre-banter, it was all promotional. All the Twitter beef and on Facebook stuff, it was just to get people hyped up and excited. You ever see WWE, the UFC? That's what it was about. I have no issue with Alan, and I don't believe Alan has any issue with me. You know, respect respects. That's it. Karen?
Well, first of all, congratulations to you for the success you had yesterday. We had a lot of people that were contacting us afterwards. Our dealers said that they were very proud. Team SVB was very proud of you. So congratulations again.
Again, thank you very much. I love this industry. And what people don't even realize is that yesterday, we were at Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Swedesboro, New Jersey. Me and about 5 of our team members and a whole video production crew shooting an interview and shooting the cover for June 2014 in Auto Success magazine. Dealer Synergy just took a dealership that was doing 50 units a month and doubled the entire dealership's business. Increased it by 100%. They just closed with 99 units in April 2014.
In how many days?
Oh, in like 7 weeks. So the first 3 weeks, they went from doing 50 units to 83 units. And then the next month, the first full month on the program, they netted about 49 additional cars. They doubled their entire dealership's business. And I just met with the owners and the GM, the internet director yesterday, and you'll read the article, but they said it changed their lives. I posted videos from the GSM. It changed their life, and it's going to continue to be a blessing for them. So in the middle of this whole thing,
yeah, we literally were shooting photos, shooting interviews, and then all of a sudden it was time for your debate. So we literally ran in, threw a laptop down on the desk, and went with it.
And so, you know, the purpose of this video right here, Karen, share with them, is what we were thinking about why we're doing this video right here.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of people reach out to us through Twitter, through Facebook, through text messages that were asking. It was in our debate, but it was only, what, 2 to 3 questions?
3 questions.
So you weren't able to really elaborate, and a lot of people were left with questions as well. And me being a student of yours for 7 years, I know that there were definitely things that you could have gone further into detail with, and I think that we would only be doing a justice by kind of clarifying our perspective, our point of view to some of the things that were asked of you yesterday.
All right, so I'm going to start. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of Alan's big points was that salespeople should be taking internet phone calls, internet leads, and incoming phone ups and phone calls, and not an internet department or BDC or call center. He was really adamant about that, and he kept on trying to challenge me on this. So let me be really clear. I'm a verified 30-car sales professional. I used to work at Weissleiter Lincoln Mercury Mazda in Bricktown, New Jersey. My dealer principal is Taylor Weissleiter. GM was Jeff Bayman, and GSM is Charlie Kearns. And I'll tell you this right now, it's not imagination. I was a 30-car plus average sales professional. So I've done that, been there, got the t-shirt. Then I went on to be a sales manager, internet sales manager, BDC director. So I've tried this.
You've experienced both sides of the coin.
Yes, 100%. And again, it's not turn around, can we do this? Anybody could do anything. And this might sound stupid, but if you had somebody in front of your dealership with a stupid sandwich sign, ringing a bell, say, come buy cars, eventually somebody might look at the sandwich sign, you know what? I think I want to buy a car. That doesn't mean it's the best way to advertise. So I'm not saying that it is not possible, it's not theoretical for a salesperson to take inbound, outbound internet phone ups. It's just not the most efficient, profitable, long-term way. And here's why. Let's start with the fact that our clients, okay, and we deal with everything from small mom and pop dealerships like Spirit, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep to large dealer groups, publicly traded companies. So our dealers, though, usually get a lot of internet leads. And I don't think Alan was really focused on the internet side, because if he was, then he was even farther wrong than what he exhibited through the debate. Because when you get 400 internet leads, okay, that's the average for the record. That's what the average dealership gets between their OEMs, third-party providers, SEO, their own website is approximately 380 to 400 leads per month. If you got 400 leads, the average buying cycle is 45 to 90 days. That means that, let's just say you have a 10% closing ratio, a minimum of 10% closing ratio, that's 40 units, okay? That means there's 360 people that you didn't turn around and spot a vehicle with that month. Some of those leads, yes, are dead, bogus, bought elsewhere, changed mind, crazy, whatever it is. So you're not gonna, sell everybody, but I guarantee you, the very first day of the very next month, you're not starting from zero. You're gonna have what's called a residual flow factor. So in that math problem, out of the 360, you're probably gonna start, the day one of the following month with about 200 carryover leads. Plus that month, you're gonna get 400 additional leads. So that means you're gonna have 600 internet leads. How in the world are you going to properly handle 600 internet leads? The 200 residual flow factor, and that's only 30 days. We're not even going 60, residual or 90 residual. I'm only going 30 days back.
And handling them the right way.
Handle them the right way, plus the phone ups. So if you're getting 400 fresh internet leads, you might get another 100 to 200 phone ups. So now I'm estimating true opportunity. You're looking at 600, 700, 800 internet leads and phone ups approximately. The average dealership only has 10 salespeople. It's a fact. So how are 10 salespeople going to handle truly, effectively, 600, 700, 800 opportunities? Plus, they're going to handle walk-in traffic. They're going to handle B-backs, service conversions, prior customers, referrals, and oh, I forgot, the lost art of prospecting. Think about all that work and then to handle it effectively. You got to remember the average internet prospect is searching 5 to 8 other dealerships, 5 to 8 other websites. So how are you going to be able to have a methodical follow-up? The answer is you don't. There's a reason why the national average is only 9.6 units per salesperson. The average salesperson only sells 9.6 cars because they're overextended. They're not able to master a certain thing. Now, do you have anything you want to add on that?
Yeah. As far as the salespeople go, would you say that they can properly talk about our process? What do we expect as far as when a lead comes through, the follow-up? How many phone calls should be done, emails? Kind of go into that a little bit.
To understand our model, I don't believe in a BDC. I believe you could build into a BDC, but I believe in an internet sales department that takes and brings in phone ups. So I'm going to repeat that. I'm not a BDC person where you should have one room that does everything at once. Unsold showroom traffic, data mining, lease retention, service conversions, unsold showroom traffic, obviously phone ups and internet ups. I think that's too much. That's the reason why most BDCs fails, because they're trying to do too many things at once. So we almost always go in, and sometimes we have to sell deals off of BDC, and we build powerful internet departments that take phone ups. So now with that being said, what do we normally believe? I have a ridiculous follow-up strategy for the first 31 days. For an internet lead, it's email, phone call for the whole 31 straight days. Now you're thinking that's too much. Hell no, that's why you guys are not selling a ton of cars, okay, for the people that are crying. Here's the reality, is that the average internet prospect is searching 5 to 8 other dealerships or 5 to 8 other websites, and it's over a 45 to 90 day window period. So if you do not have a methodical approach, you're gonna be screwed, because you're gonna have bought elsewhere's changed minds. The counter argument might be, not from Alan, but it's for anybody, oh, you're gonna piss people off. No, you're not. Not if you have good email templates and email content where you have videos, social communications, where you're achieving top of the mind awareness and it's intelligent, marketing. You're not going to piss them off. You're not going to piss them off if they're trained properly on how to leave righteous, interesting, relevant voicemail messages. You're not going to piss people off if you have trained skills for the phone. Yes, if a basic dealership or an antiquated trainer's clients are going to turn on and try to do this, it's going to crash and burn. What you're doing is you want to escalate. What you're trying to do is, we believe in what's called a follow-up protocol and separate, completely separate, as an engagement protocol. You're not going to just email, phone call, and blitzkrieg people, and then get emails back or phone calls or voicemail messages, and then continue to bother them and pester them. No, no, no. We believe in the blitzkrieg to escalate from that email communication to a phone communication. That's what it is. So we're using the email, phone call, blitz protocol between email, phone call, social communication, video engagement, etc., to just get a interactive conversation. Once you're on that interactive conversation, then it will be done on a case-by-case basis. But anybody that actually knows what they're talking about, I'm sorry, Alan, but I'm just saying, anybody that has experience in an internet department or BDC, especially when you're dealing with 400, 500, 600, 800 leads, there's no way in hell you're going to be able to maximize opportunities if you have it spread out to the floor. Because why? Because at any given moment, you could have a prospect in the showroom. At any given moment, you got to do a product presentation, demo drive, delivery, chasing steps. Oh, and don't forget, you got to try to be doing B-backs, service conversions, prior customers, referrals, and then prospecting. How in the hell are you going to handle 400, 600, 800 or more leads? I've got clients right now that have 2,000 leads. Okay, Brown Daub Kia, Easton, Pennsylvania, check it. They have 14 full-time appointment setters. They're doing 160 units out of their internet department at 4 G's a copy. Can you do the math? It's over $6-7 million out of their call center. It adds up. Karen?
So can a salesperson properly follow up and do all the other things they need to do?
There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell. There's no freaking way in hell that they can do it the right way. Now, am I saying that a salesperson is not capable of taking an inbound phone up? Absolutely not. Of course they can. Am I saying that a salesperson isn't capable of taking an internet lead? Absolutely they can. But not realistic for long-term growth and to really scale and build the business. So what we're saying is, it's like the football. Let's take the game of football. I'm not a huge football fan, but let's just use this analogy. Can a professional athlete, whether you like Michael Vick or not, okay, he's an NFL quarterback. Can he turn around and kick the ball? Probably. Can he probably tackle somebody? Probably. Can he run with the ball? Probably. But is that the best position for Michael Vick? Hell no. He throws the ball. That's my point. Again, I'm only 5'5". Can I play basketball? Pretty good. Are you going to make me a center? No. Even if I'm not in the NBA, I'm not playing center even on street team because it doesn't make sense. What you want to do is put your best people in the best positions to maximize gross profit and their time. Time is money. Karen?
Right, and I know that from our experience, a lot of dealers, when we're first kind of qualifying them, will complain that, okay, when we get customers into the store, we have an amazing closing ratio, but it's getting the customer into the store, so it's that phone sale.
100% agree. Let's talk about that. There's a cause and effect. It's really simple. It's a numbers game. The more people you call, the more people you get on the phone. The more people you get on the phone, the more appointments you can make. The more appointments you can make, the more appointments you can confirm. The more appointments that you can confirm, more people will show up. More people that show up, more people buy cars. So what I want to be able to do is create an environment, a team, from open to close. I recommend from 9 to 6 and 11 to 8. And what they're going to do is they're going to pound the phones. So I made a stat public that Alan questioned me on. Again, it's apparent that he has no clue about this part of the business. It's an 11 to 14% connection ratio. I'm not talking about inbound phone calls. It's a 100% connection ratio. Duh. I'm talking about if you're outbound dialing the call. And you know what I will do? I will challenge Alan, anybody else, Grant Cardone, Joe Verdi, anybody to prove me wrong. What we could do is we could turn on and go on a GoToMeeting. It's really simple. And let's just dial 100. Go into any dealership's file. And what we could do is turn on and identify how many phone calls that we're making with a non-predictive dialer or auto dialer. And again, I'm telling you, you're only going to have an 11 to 14% connection ratio. And he's like, well, if you get cell phone numbers, you get this. And I don't give a shit. If you got the Pope's personal phone number, he's not going to answer all the time when you call. He's doing his sermons. He's doing his thing. And I mean no disrespect or blasphemy. I'm just trying to prove a point. I thought it was absolutely ludicrous to tell me that it's not 11 or 14%. I've got dealerships that are only having 6 or 8%, connection ratios on the phone. Let me be specific. If you go into your CRM and you've got 300, 400, 500 leads, and you sit down for 8 hours straight and you call 120 people, folks, I'm predicting you're only going to connect with 11 to 14% of the people, which means that you're only going to connect with 14 to 16.8 bodies. And if you don't know these numbers, then you really are not really experienced at doing this stuff. Every true internet person knows the hardest part of the internet job is getting a body on the phone. Heck out of here, man. Next.
Now, one of the tweets that I personally received was, I had mentioned that if you have too many leads and the salespeople are handling them from A to Z, they can't handle them the right way, and they'll end up either cherry picking or grabbing the low-hanging fruit. And someone shot back at me, good salespeople will follow up with all of their leads the right way. Now, obviously, that's not the case because according to what we talked about with following up with a phone call and email for the first 31 days, plus having people that are walking in off of the showroom, it's not really the case in being able to follow up the right way. Would you agree with that? Would you agree that they're not purposely cherry picking, they're not purposely grabbing the low-hanging fruit, but it's just way too much on their plate to handle the right way?
You know what? There's a couple different reasons why. First of all, CRM is one of the absolute most important aspects of the dealership, but still, I don't care what CRM company you have, there's still a massive problem. Again, it's like an epidemic that CRMs are not set up the right way. Even for the best CRM tools, I constantly go into dealerships and the automated action plans are not being used. On a daily basis, I hear, oh, the CRM doesn't work, it's not set up the right way. So if you don't have the proper technology set up the right way, prompting a salesperson to know who to call, who to email, who to send a card to, who to send an e-card to, who to send a social media communication, all that stuff, you've got to rely on the salesperson to have time management skills, priority skills, and that's necessarily not the case. So again, when you couple it with the fact that when they have low attention spans, because think about it, it's not conducive. If you make money on a commission, and if you call somebody 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and you don't get a response, you don't get a communication, most salespeople, not all of them, but most of them are going to turn around and say, oh, this lead sucks. These leads are no good, or this person's not a real buyer. They pre-qualify, they prejudge, and they go on to what's right in front of them. And I don't blame them, because if my compensation was solely on commissions or majority on commissions, I would want my instant gratification, because I got babies to feed. I got a wife that likes shoes and red bottoms and stuff. I need to make that money. I get it. But that doesn't mean that that's okay. That means that you need to move the model. There's a book, Alan, you should have read, Who Moved My Cheese? You can't keep doing the same things you were doing back in the 80s and 90s.
What's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Right.
So again, no. Here's what I want you to understand. In the model that we have with these internet departments, these call centers, is that from open to closing shifts, we've got trained people. And I want to get really specific with this. They're trained.
I was going to ask you that. I know one of the things that Alan threw out to you was he almost made it sound like you were just taking random people off of the street and throwing them into the internet department. Oh, these internet people can't handle a question being asked. Our internet people can. Can you kind of elaborate why?
100%. Our dealer synergy clients are trained almost better than traditional showroom salespeople. Our internet appointment setters are phone sales people. They're phone sales professionals. They don't ask for the appointment. They sell the appointment. They sell the appointment. They first and foremost, they're trained in outbound phone call process, inbound phone call process, qualifications. They understand that the top 7 reasons why people are going online are price, availability, convenience, I hate car salesmen, research, trade, and credit. They're also trained in having 7 responses for each. We're talking about, 40 plus different word tracks. They're also trained to understand the dealership's value package proposition, what is different and better about that organization than anybody else. So they're trained to qualify, identify, meet, and exceed a prospect's expectations. Just in case you're taking notes, okay? Identify, meet, and exceed. They're looking to turn around and identify, meet, and exceed. Karen?
The other thing is, it's not that we don't believe in salespeople. We obviously believe in salespeople. 100%. We believe in an internet dealership overall. But we want to put first things first and kind of isolate the internet department and have them have their specific duties. It's 2 teams, ultimately. It's a team A and a team B. It's not an us versus them. It's not an either or an or. It's an and. It's team A plus team B. This is one team effort, and it's going to take everybody involved to achieve the sales, the maximum amount of sales that we can achieve.
100% of our clients, I tell them this is not going to work with just the internet team. What I say to them is, first and foremost, you need to have really strong phone appointment setters. And we usually do the recruiting, interviewing, recommending to hire, so we're very specific. We're looking at people with phone skills, communication skills. They might have worked in a call center, collections place before, or a different internet department or BDC, and we just repurpose them and retrain them. But these people are trained and conditioned not to get distracted, not to get frustrated, not to abandon the ship. They're turning from open to close, pounding the phone, and they understand they're only going to have an 11 to 14% connection ratio. And from those connections, they're only going to have about a 25 to 33% appointment made ratio. From those, they're going to have about roughly a 62 to 67% show ratio. And from there, they're going to sell about 47 to 50% of the people that walk into the dealership. Now, so you have the appointment setters. Every one of my departments has to have an internet director, and that person has got to not be a dweeb or a person that sucks. You're going to blow out on your floor. You're going to put them in the internet department. This person needs to have sales management capabilities, or has been, or is a sales manager, or even a GSM. I've got internet departments that are selling more cars than the average dealership. However, I even got dealerships that are selling double. They're selling 200 internet deals. That's twice the amount of the average full-blown dealership. So at that level, you're going to have some didn't as your director? Hell no. You need to have a GSM level person, a high caliber person. And then even with a high level manager, because this is a profit center, not an expense. And I'm going to get into that with what Alan was talking about, people or expenses. That really pissed me off. The other aspect of this is that you need to have salespeople in there. I'm okay with salespeople being in there to take overflow phone ups, for people to take overflow internet leads. I'm definitely want salespeople in there to do the phone TOs.
Right. So when they're not sitting there with the customer, what should they be doing?
So when a salesperson on the floor is not doing a product presentation, demo drive, delivery, I believe they should be living in the internet room or the call center room with the core internet team. I just don't think that they should be the person to handle the initial lead.
So it's almost like a phone factory, and the factory is constantly going throughout the day. It doesn't stop, but you can gain additional people going into the factory and throwing their hands into it, making more phone calls, TOing the deals, and adding even more value.
Absolutely, and here's what I say. What I say, and this you could catch me on videos, or you could verify this, is I tell all salespeople that they should be living in that internet department. I encourage them to be in there, and I say pretend that all these 4, 5, 6, 8, or 10 appointment setters don't even exist. You ever see that board game, Hungry, Hungry, Hungry Hippos? I want you to think of these leads, inbound, outbound, etc., like they're marbles, and you just got to get as many as you can. I do want salespeople in the department to catch overflow, but the reality is that those appointment setters do exist in our model. Those, phone sales professionals do exist. So it is a combined effort. You have team A that doesn't stop from open to close, as they're constantly phone calling, receiving phone calls, converting those to appointments. Whereas the salespeople, they are primarily doing what? Perpetuating the momentum that the internet department created or the call center created. Their main job should be closing all the deals from all these appointments from the appointment factory that's pushing them to there. But if they're not inundated, then yes, they could go in that room to take overflow. They should not be the primary. You should have that to a core team. And Alan, brother, what are you doing? People as an expense? This sounds like an expense? People are the greatest asset of any organization. I don't know if I'm a Franklin Covey convert that's saying this, but Karen, how did you feel when he was talking about that?
Yeah, I was pretty offended, and I'm pretty sure others were as well. People are definitely an asset, and this department is meant to make money, not take money. The profits overall are going to exceed any cost that, they pay for themselves.
100%. Here's the thing. I'm not
and
saying,
more.
Let's talk about net increase. Car guy to car people, okay? I get it. You don't want to turn around and incur all these fixed hard costs in people, leads, bodies, whatever, technologies, ideas, strategies, consultants, and then you're selling 100 net cars a month, and then they come in and they're saying they're doing all this other stuff, but you only move the needle about 10 cars or 15 cars. I get it, folks. I could give you 15 different cover stories. I could give you 9,000 people that I personally trained, and we could go through different things. But I'm going to just give you the most recent one, like yesterday, okay? Like literally yesterday. Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Swedesboro, New Jersey, they were doing 50 units a month for the last couple of years, okay? Sometimes a little bit higher, but averaging about 50 units a month. And with us turning on the program, they didn't increase 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50%. They doubled their entire dealership business. Okay, so that does pencil out. You feel what I'm saying? So again, everything has to be put in accordingly. I'm not saying you just randomly turn around and add 4 or 5 bodies, manager, this, that, and the other thing. Just like anything else, like Covey says, the second habit, begin with the end result in mind. Based on how many units you want to sell is going to need to basically dictate how many leads or opportunities to do business you need to have, and then how many trained professionals need to be allocated to work those leads, to escalate them from leads to phone calls, to appointments, to shows, to sales. wow, I still, when I think about it, it makes me shudder that whole comment about, expense. You need to invest money to make money.
Yeah, they're an investment.
100% investment.
That's a great way of putting it.
And it definitely does pencil out. Next question you wanted to touch on?
That was pretty much all I could think of for you as far as the different questions that I received afterwards. I'm not sure if there's anything that you personally wanted to elaborate on.
Listen, I'm going to give you the example right here. If you want to turn on and increase 40, 50, 60 units, I don't care how many cars you're selling. Again, Spirit Chrysler, the example from yesterday, the June 2014 cover story for Auto Success magazine, you take a Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealership that is obviously not a Tier 1 franchise, and they're in a small little area in Swedesboro, New Jersey, and they're only doing 50 units a month. How do they double to do 99 units? And they're on track for this month in May to break 116 units. How do you do that? Okay, well, you have a specific model, but I'll give it to you. They're getting about, just so you understand, about 600 leads a month. They've got 4 full-time appointment setters, plus they have a high-level internet director that was a desk manager before. Yes, they converted a desk manager to being the internet director. An internet director is not a demotion. Internet director isn't the bastard manager. An internet director is a major manager in a major profit center in a dealership.
And she said so herself.
And she says so. So now, if you do the math, you're looking at, roughly about 500 phone calls a day. Think about that for a second. Between the coordinators and the director, at least 500 phone calls a day. Times 5 working days, you're looking at 2,500 phone calls in a month. Okay, if you turn and do there's 4.3 weeks, but if you just round it up to just 4 weeks, look at that, man. That's like 10,000 phone calls.
You think salespeople can do all
There's
those
no
calls?
way in hell that you're going to be able to get 4 salespeople and a part-time manager, for example. Let's just say 4 people to turn around and make you 10,000 phone calls. Folks, I double dare you to tell me that this is not a numbers game. It's math, not magic. Poof. Okay? It's math, not magic. The more people you call, the more people you get on the phone. The more people you get on the phone, the more appointments you make, the more appointments you can confirm, the more people show up, more people buy cars. I dare anybody to challenge that. It's a math problem. So if you've got a consolidated department that's all they're doing is dialing, again, math will work itself out. Sean V. Bradley.
And congratulations again to you on the debate yesterday.
Listen, anybody else want to debate me, check this out. My email is seanb@dealersynergy.com. My cell phone number is 267-319-6776. I have a major internet sales 20 group in partnership with the Massachusetts State Auto Dealer Association. Toyota manufacturer was so blown away from my last 20 group, they're sending all 71 dealerships in the New England market. The dates are September 22nd, 23rd, and 24th in Boston, Massachusetts. Anybody want to see a live debate? Grant Cardone, if you want to come and debate me live. Alan Ram, you want to come debate me live. Okay, whoever wants it, they could come get it. I know what I do. I am convinced in my success. I'm convinced in my client's success. And again, I obviously can articulate. So Alan, again, thank you very much for the appetizer. Anybody wants the main course, come and get me. I'm here.
So in closing, folks, if you don't adapt, you're not going to exist. This is a new age. This is a new time. There's a new way of doing business.
We're out. Thank you so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed listening to and learning the information that you just saw. Because if you did, I promise you, you're going to love automotive digital training. So do me a favor, go to automotivedigitaltraining.com and take a look.